All right, make sure we live here. Let's make sure we live on the actual YouTube. We live on YouTube? Yeah, we live on YouTube. All right, cool. So let's get into it. Oh man, good afternoon, good morning, good day, good evening. All depends on where you're located. It's Marc Gates, man. Thank you for tuning in. We have the Owners Box, the USFL League, number one and only live talk show that I know of currently. Well, kind of currently. Shout out to the Mo Show. He's been doing this thing. That's the Lions owner. But we're here today at the Owners Box. And I know it's been a while since I've done an episode and show. You know, life has been going on. We're kind of really deep into the Madden season. So I'm just, first of all, shout out to all the people who subscribed and all the people who tuned in. So I tried to come back with this episode, not with just by myself doing a solo one, but also with a guest. And I was able to do that today to bring a special guest, man. Man, this guy, since he's been in the league, he's earned my respect. He's actually beaten me in the second league. I think we split 1-1. I beat him here in USFL, and he beat me in the other league. But he's very, very conservative, but very smart with the ball when he plays and things like that. Very chatty. He's very active in the league. He's just gotten to the league. Definitely a good dude. I'd like to introduce Don Joe, a.k.a. He is the Cardinals, I think, in the USFL League. And, we're doing a kind of like a crossover episode. We got some viewers from the other second league that we go in that kind of mirrors the USFL, the UG TFL League. He's also the Jets owner in that league. I want to welcome Joe to the Owners Box, man. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, brother. Appreciate it.
Definitely, man.
Pleasure to be here.
Definitely. So, Owners Box, man, we do a lot of CFM talk and things that affect the league and things like that. So this is episode 28. We've been doing this for a run, good run now, me, Ty and myself. So first and foremost, man, tell us about your Madden background and your Madden history. How long you been playing Madden? When the first time you played Madden? And the background, did you come from more of a mutt? Did you come from more of a head-to-head? Or you always been doing the CFM thing?
Actually, I've always been doing the CFM. That's where I started out. I've been playing Madden since it first came out, back on the Super Nintendo and all that good stuff. For the longest time, I didn't have internet. I wasn't able to play online. So I always was pretty much CFM. And then, as I got older, I was able to get all that good stuff and started playing a little bit of MUT here and there. But for the most part, I stick to the CFM.
Okay.
This is actually the first year. This is actually the first year that I've been in an online league.
Okay. That was my next question, too. So, when you play the computer, it's definitely different than when you playing online. And when you play head-to-head and, you play head-to-head is more freelance where you can just run the plays. But then you come more into a online CFM, you're more structured and things like that with rules. So how do you feel like that has affected your gameplay? And, how has that experience been for you so far?
It was a little difficult. I guess I was so used to playing CFM that I kind of already knew like the structure and how to maintain a decent squad compared to head to where, like you said, it's freelance. You just get in there and it's like a
wild
like your lab in the game. So
yeah.
You just get out there and you play. There's not really much to it. But when you get into the CFM, it's a little bit different. You gotta. I came from that, so I knew more or less what to expect from the CFM and through these leagues. The only thing that I had to adjust to was the 31 different owners. But it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure being a part of this.
Yeah, definitely. So, in the USFL, man, you're on the NFC side of the ball. I know myself. You're in a division with Tick 856 and Boone. Correct? You are the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
So
that is correct.
Them two have a good rivalry in that division, and now you come, with your skill set and things like that. How's that division been for you so far?
It's been good. I love the competitiveness. It's I kind of got recognition from both Tick and Seattle, I believe he is.
Yeah.
But it was cool getting recognition from him because you can tell the elite players from some of the other players, and their record shows. Their record has been a positive record for the longest time already. And then someone like me comes in and I shake things up a little bit, give them a little fit, But it's been cool. It's been cool playing against them and getting getting my feet on the ground and getting going.
Yeah, well, you know, there's no disrespect to the previous Cardinals owner, but you are a breath of fresh air coming into that division, man. Because Boone kind of had and Tick as well. Boone has had like a smooth ride to the playoffs, and that's no disrespect to him because I know the type of work he puts in, the type of grind he puts in, the commitment he puts in. Because we talk all the time, so. But it's good to see him being challenged every time he goes out there now when he plays his division games. So for me,
to be fair, to be honest, that was kind of why I went to the AFC in the UGTFL. After I had seen you win their first Super Bowl or the second Super Bowl, I believe it was the second Super Bowl. I had there was a few teams that were open, and I was like, well, you know what? I think I might want to go and be the Jets. That way I can play you twice a year, because I mean you just put in work. And then I seen you were even on auto for the longest time, and when you came back last season, when you came back, I mean you won like what 6, 7 in a row.
Yeah,
and you still made the playoffs and all that good stuff. So just even it made me want to be a part of the AFC even more. Like to go against you. I like to go against the best because I mean, it helps. It helps, and it helps the game. Like it helps your gameplay get better, your skill set. It helps things like paradox to the next step.
Yeah, I appreciate the recognition, man, and it definitely does. You know, we have a saying like "steel sharpens steel" all the time, so you know that's a cliche saying, but it actually means something, especially here at Madden. And like I said, you actually beat me. Like the first time we played over there, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like who is this guy? And then we played.
We didn't play. We played each other in USFL first, I believe.
Right.
And then we went over and what was it, like week 16, week 15, we played the UGTFL.
Yeah, and I was like, damn. Like, because I looked back and I was like, who's this guy? Because he beat me. And I was like, oh, he's a Cards from the
yeah.
Like I didn't even have that mindset going in. Like I didn't even have that mindset going. I was like, who's this dude? Like, you know, who is this guy? And when I seen it, I blinked him up. I was like, oh, okay. So now now it's like now I know, like, okay, now I can, you know, play you different and things of that nature. So
yeah.
Then like I said, I know Boone's been playing you. You know, me and him talked about how you play, and then I really get a chance to speak to Tick and you know, but I could see how the points and stuff you're putting up. In your opinion so far in the USFL, give me your top 5 teams or teams that you think are, you know, the top 3 to 5 teams on both sides, AFC and NFC.
The AFC, I mean, I got to go with Dre, the Browns. I mean, he grinds. He grinds. The record may not be as what it should be, but he puts in work. And then I'm not too sure who else is up there.
So we have like Cletus is the Jets there. Cletus is undefeated currently.
Yeah. The Jets. He's just out there grinding. That dude, man, he's what? Like, is he still undefeated or did he lose?
Yeah, he's undefeated. I think he's like 14-0 or 13-0, 14-0. I mean, you know,
right now.
Yeah, Cletus does that. Cletus does so.
The NFC, I mean, Boone just it was rough. I had a hard time adjusting against him, but Tick's good too. Like it's rough. There's a lot of good competition out there in the USFL. Like it's crazy. Yeah, the Jets, Boone, the Redskins. I don't think I played the Redskins, but I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The Raiders, the Niners, Tick, Ty's doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely.
Even Strong. Strong's doing pretty good too. He's out there at 9-4.
Is Strong 9-4? Really?
Yeah, he's 9-4.
Oh, good, man. I'm glad to see you finally turned it around. We have something here what I like to call the get it together list in the USFL. I kind of highlight teams who like actually been winning and probably been losing or down, or teams or owners I feel who have good potential and can win games. They're just not in sync or in rhythm. So I'm like, man, you need to get it together. And Strong was on that list for a while, you know what I'm saying? Because he had a great year one season, and then he kind of went in a slump. So now, you know, I've been on him, telling him to get together, He knows he's been doing that. He went out of the Brady era. So now to hear him 9-4, you know, hopefully he can still, you know, hopefully he can sneak a win on Cletus and break that undefeated streak. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of good things out there. My top 3 though, I'd have to say from the AFC, the Jets. Got to go with the Browns. Then I'd have to say the Raiders. I mean, I don't know too much of the AFC. I haven't played too much of the AFC.
Yeah. And then what about the NFC? How do you feel about the NFC?
The NFC, there's a lot of good competition. I mean, I got you out there. We got the Seahawks. Hold on, boy. We got the Seahawks. We got Ty with the Niners. Tick with the Niners.
Yeah.
Ty with the Giants. But my top three, I probably have to say Boone, you, and Tick. I'd have to say. I haven't played Ty too often with the Giants, but like I said, I play Tick twice a year. I play Boone twice a year, and then me and you. I mean, we got. Should we play each other so many times
Yeah.
in the UGCFL and over here? So
Yeah. Now, since you're, like I'm kind of like doing this little crossover episode here. Shout out to all the viewers in the UG TFL get a chance to see the owners box for the first time, or multiple. If it's not your first time tuning in, but since you're in both leagues, how do you feel about the competition level in UFSL, USFL versus that other league?
it was kind of crazy when I had first got brought to the USFL. I felt, and I still feel like there's more competition in the USFL than there is the UGTFL. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good talent in the UGTFL, but I think we're still a few players away from being like the USFL.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of good competition.
Yeah, and that whole league actually was created for people from the USFL to get more reps in. You know what I'm saying? To get to practice their schemes and develop their schemes, so when they can then implement those back into the USFL to elevate their game. So
yeah,
that was the whole thing of that. But it's actually like it's the rules are mirrored, the gameplay is mirrored, but the level of competition is a little tougher in the USFL for sure. But it is some good games though in the other league as well. Though it's definitely some good games, some good guys in there.
I mean, it's good that they have that, the UGCFL being like a Canadian football league to the NFL. It's good that they have it like that because it does. It helps prepare for like the USFL.
Yeah.
But I mean, UGTFL being like on its own, being a branch of its own, like it's good, but we need to do more to make it stick.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that we lose, a lot of people that we go through that we should try to. I mean, we're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Like, we're all doing a good job out there, and we're maintaining it. But I mean, like we're already down the line in 18. I mean, 2 more months and 19 already comes out. So
yeah.
Everybody is kind of already falling off. But there's a few that just want to keep going just to buy time.
Sure.
Because I mean, this is the rough stretch. There's no basketball. There's no football.
Yeah.
There's not much going on anymore. So I mean, like a lot of people, they just want to coast into 19. But
yeah, and best believe USFL has its growing pains as well. Like this league's been going for a while, and I know the Steelers and the Panthers, like like forefathers, and Cletus and Ty and them, and the Raiders and the Chiefs, like they're the admins. I mean, they go hard. And also Green Bay, he does a lot of recruiting. So honestly, this year, this man right here, and this time, this has been. Usually we all fall off too around this time in the summertime. But now it's like we've been rocking out. This is even for myself personally. I've never rocked out from the launch all the way until the launch of the second, the next following year, man. And here we're like 7 seasons in, still going strong. We still got 32 owners this late in the summer with it coming out. It's like bananas. So I think the other league will definitely get there. It just takes time. Like it takes time. And the cool thing is that with the USFL, like once you're in this league, you're like in it unless you kind of quit it. Guys stay around, with the same teams and the same, it's like they don't go nowhere. Like I've been playing with some of these guys since PS3 days, things like that. So, again, welcome to the league. You're in until you kind of want out of it. You know what I'm saying? Which is dope. Like you have a CFM home here, and that's the thing. One of the coolest things that there's not a stat for. There's nothing you can really put on that when it comes to a Madden CFL. So CFM. So give me a little description of how your play style is. Like you see, kind of my mind is this, and every Madden is different, right? So last Madden, I wasn't this big shot style of player that I am now. Deep balls and things like that. Like I wasn't that type of guy. So this Madden I am. How do you feel your play style is this Madden?
I try to because I played football and I've coached football. I try to use the knowledge that I have from real life experience to translate it into the game. For example, going up against you, I mean, like I told you, one of the things that I wanted to try to do, that I tried to do, is keep the ball out of your hands. I mean, if you ain't got the ball, how can you beat me? You know what I mean? And I try to, I mean, I would consider myself a pro style offense. Be balanced a little bit. I run the ball, pass the ball. I mean, if I got to go deep, I got to go deep. I mean, I try not to put myself in those 3rd and longs, 2nd and longs, and stuff like that. But this is Madden. I mean, it's hard. But I just try to like manage the game. The less opportunities you have to beat me, the better of a chance I have to win. But with
Sure.
that being said, like I said, this is Madden. It's a little bit rough. I mean, you got animations that don't let the game go your way. Like there's just so many different aspects of the game that you can kind of tell from the get go, from the first, second quarter. You can kind of tell where the game's gonna go and how it's gonna go. I mean, like I said yesterday, I took 2 losses to the Steelers and to the Panthers in USFL, and or no, to the Lions in
So you lost.
USFL.
So you lost to Mo in the
Yeah, I lost
USFL.
to Mo and I lost to Black with the Steelers in the UGTFL.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
the
Both.
crazy thing is, I jumped out to like a 15-point lead on both of them, and they came back and they won.
Wow.
But it was just like I couldn't finish the game. I ended up throwing a couple of picks. In both games, I had probably like 4 picks, and they were all like in the second half.
Yeah.
Well, with Mo, I had to throw a pick six at halftime, but like I mean, I was still up to. I had a good lead on him, even with the pick. I was still up by like a touchdown. But just some of the animations, like it's kind of you can kind of tell which way it's gonna swing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still good. It's good to play.
Yeah. So it's funny because Ty and myself, we always talk about that. Like when you feel like the flow of the game is going a certain way, and it might not even be going your way, but like say you 15 and then you throw that pick six and you certain like weird stuff starts to happen. Ty's been great. He's been calling timeout. It's almost like NCAA basketball. Like when teams go up 6 in the basketball tournament or something like that, and the coach call timeout real quick. They're just trying to slow down the momentum in the game. Yeah, trying to stop the flow in the game. The momentum in the game flow. So kind of Ty has been doing it, like especially like late in the second half or in the fourth quarter. If you kind of hurry up, no offense, and like he'll just hurry up. He'll blow all 3 timeouts just to shut the momentum down and slow the game down to try to control it. So next time you're up by 15. 2 things I would tell you: never take your foot off the gas in USFL ever until it's like out of reach, and try to use them timeouts, to slow down the momentum if you can.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I just like I said, I mean, a lot of it was my own fault. Like I shot myself in the foot by throwing all them interceptions that I did in both games. Um, I tried to limit my turnovers. I mean, I do pretty good. Like I don't go deep very often. Maintain my game plan pretty much throughout the game. Like I'll stay running the ball even if I'm down by 30. I'll still stay running the ball. But I mean, it just happened. And like I used in 18. I started out playing a lot of muck. That's what I started out doing a lot of. And I had noticed that it didn't really matter how much you were down by in the first half. I could be down 21, and then like you were just saying, like after halftime, like the momentum just shifted, and it started going my way. I ended up coming back and winning 28-21 or 35-28, made the game close. Like it was crazy the way they had the momentum swings. Like at any time it could change.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
the man gods can be unforgiving at times, man. They can be they can be cruel at times, man. For sure.
Yep.
Definitely. So I know you had a couple questions, and I do want to do a couple things like pick winners and games for this week. I do want to break down some plays and look at some plays that have been submitted to me and kind of break them down and go into them. For one, let me is there any tips or any questions you have or strategy you might want to have answers to?
I had a question. I was trying to go through. I did a little bit of labbing last night and just some experience last night or just something that I was trying to like get in touch with. A lot of people they throw a lot of salt on you. You get a lot of backlash because in the USFL you only run out routes, which to me is crazy because you don't run out routes in the UGTFL. But a lot of people they what do you think is better for an out route? A crowd flat or a soft flat?
It's funny because so here's a backstory on that, right? So maybe like 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago, when the Browns came in, Dre came in. Dre was C-routing everybody. Like he was just corner route. He was C-routing. Like I watched him go from a new owner all the way to the AFC Championships, C-routing, and I kind of teased him on it. So it got to be annoying. Like when he did that, the impact of him doing that forced a lot of guys who weren't winning started implementing that C route. a lot, right? So it was like, it became annoying. I'm like, ugh, hate the C routes. But I also knew that same hatred for the C route was the same people's hatred for the out route. So then I just was like, you know what? I'm out routing. You know what I'm saying? So I just do it until people figure out how they can't stop it. So it's funny. Let me jump onto the PlayStation right now, and I'll show you how to stop it. And I know it's going, I've said it before, and I guess people haven't really like paid it no mind. So I guess I'll visually show it. And to answer your question, it is a cloud flat that can stop it. And the cloud flat stops it in certain formations and certain lineups, but it also has a weakness too when you do it. And give me a second here. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that.
I feel like that is something else that a lot of people have issues with. I mean, this is football. In football, you out here, you gotta, when someone does something, whether they do it consecutively, you gotta stop it. You gotta find a way to stop it. You can't sit there and you can't throw salt on someone for doing what works. It's like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. So here's the notorious play, right, that I run. PAD routes. It's been in Madden for eons, right? So standard out routes, the post route, the middle route. So just by default, we know that these outs are special because they go 15, almost 20 yards, right? So standard, every zone in Madden besides the cover 2 flat or hard flat backs up, right? They just back up, back up, back up, back up. They almost have a bend but don't break style of play. Except for the hard flat, they kind of just stay. They let nothing get in front of them, right? So the cloud flat is unique, kind of like the sink, because they kind of try to play both. So that's how the cloud flat beats can stop the C route and even the out route, because they kind of play that 5 to 7 yard window where you got to get that pass in. So here, I'm gonna show you, for example. I'll just run it, and if you notice, I can't really throw that. You see what I'm saying? You see how they're like there?
Yeah, I see it out there.
Yeah, there's kind of like out there, right? So just a simple cover 2, Tampa 2 stops that play. Now, the bad thing is I can have a small window there. That's it. I have a small window on the post. So, and I mean, I can make that. Let me just show you.
By this time, most people, they're going to be putting that middle linebacker in the deep blue. Now, they should anyway, but
it should. Now, some people do it, some people don't.
Yeah.
So, and when you do that, unfortunately, I don't have my second joystick because I'm on my laptop. When you do that, let's just say when you do that, and I'll make X smaller. When you do that, and you put that middle linebacker where it has the actual M over his name, the check ID guy, when you do that, it always leaves the underneath kind of open. Yeah, because he wouldn't be there, because he would be the one going deep back to go cover out the out route, if that makes sense. So the guy who's in the middle, who's in the M, you put him in the deep blue, yes, he stops the post route, the 2 cloud flats stop the out routes, and then nobody stops this X. The X is kind of the free runner here. You can put him on a smaller end. I usually put him on a drag. And then sometimes what I also do is I'll motion him over, and I'll hit him with, when you do this and you hit him with a double out route, it almost becomes the trip Y ISO where the tight end is on the right side. Yeah. And then that becomes different, because the cloud flat now has to jump down. You see how now you had that same 5 to 7 window, if that makes sense. So where I see a person, for me, where I see a person on Tampa 2 all the time to stop it, if they don't use her and try to stop the post, then I can easily just motion this guy over. I can even keep him in his, I can keep him here. It becomes the other PA outs play, and I always leave the running back to suck down, and any blitzing linebackers and things like that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And now that play is open. So, but to answer your original question, Cloud 2 or Tampa 2, simple Tampa 2 will stop that PA out route. Now, if you run the cover 2 sync one, it becomes man activated, and I can destroy that every time. So.
I feel like that's what I'm saying too. Like a lot of people, like I said, you got a lot of backlash for running some plays that, I mean, are known to be more positive than they are negative. But I mean, like I said, this is football. You got to make the adjustment. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could show you some of the adjustments that I do, because I don't run a normal style defense. Like if I'm in the cover 2 or in Tampa 2, and I see let's say you're on the left hash mark, and you're in trips left or something. I mean, I'm in a Tampa 2. I'll put my right outside corner in what is it, like the not the deep third, but like
Yeah, the four, cover four, that
yeah, the cover 4, and then I'll move my free safety to the deep third or to the deep middle, and then it turns into like a cover 3, and I still have my zones on the inside. Plus, one of the linebackers that I'll be blitzing, I'll put him on a hard flat. That way, it takes away from where the corner was initially supposed to be. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I do a lot of different adjustments on my defense to try to show a surprise towards like just have the offense see something that they haven't seen before.
sure, and that's
what I try to do.
And a lot of league players do, man. Like I never run a stock play. Like you'll never see me come out in a cover 2 and just run it stock. Like I always adjust somebody, you know, because I know the holes. Like I know where the holes are in every defense. So I spent the time in the lab. That's why I always try to tell people, just get in the lab and just work on it, see how these zones play. Because again, you know, cover 2 sync one where it's like kind of the light blue. Depending on how the formation is, it can man activate, and then you're stuck playing man, even though it's a cover 2. We all know what the hard flats do, and the cloud flats can be tricky, but they always back up, you know, and they kind of work perfect against the C route and the out route, but you can always go underneath because they always have to check behind them too. So that's definitely a great question for this episode, man. I always like giving out tips, and hopefully, you know, people can use that. Again, I know I got 2 games coming up here soon, so I know I'm going to see that. I'm going to see that a lot now, you know what I mean, to cover 2. So, yeah. So, that's what, you know. And then we also, I know you had a question about stopping stretch runs, right?
Well, I mean, a lot of people, they have it's like I said, like a lot of people, they complain about some of the plays that are being ran because they can't stop it, or like they show you one thing. It's like I had told you a while back. It's all about appearance. Like you show them something, but you run something completely different out of what they see or what they expect. And a lot of people, like the stretch runs, I mean, they've been known to be probably the deadliest runs in Madden 18. What do you use to stop them? Or what are some tips that you would like to share to stopping the stretch?
So yeah, so here, let me just one more time, we'll jump again real quick into the station. And what we'll do is, I'm sorry, let me see. Let's go back. My fault there, fellas. So I'll call time out here. So with the stretch runs, like for example, I think one of the best running games that I've faced, and one of the toughest running games I've faced so far in both leagues, has been Tick. And Tick runs this a slot, the single back a slot style of run. Now, by default, it's balanced, but it also has the 2 guys on the end. It can get real glitchy. I don't want to call it glitchy, but if you sub in the 2 tight ends with the receivers, I mean, you get a hell of a blocking scheme. So yeah. And I think there's a package for that. So for me, when I go up against it, the first thing I try to do is, what I like to do a lot is the cover 6, or I'll come out in a cover 4, and I have like cover 6 in one of my audibles. So I'll do like, I change my audibles. And, you know, I never give this stuff out here. I usually come out, I always change this, cover 9, and I always come out in a cover 6, right? I try to come out in cover 6. So what it is, when we run this play, you know, the strong side is, and how this man is broken down is they break them down in the boxes, you know, things like that, as far as the strongest side you can run, where your best advantage is. So I know Tick always does he flips it, because by default, the strongest side is to the left. Now, based on how defenses is, most guys base a line, they try to set up their blitzes, things like that. And if you don't shift them linebackers to that defensive line, you're automatically at a disadvantage. Like you're automatically at a disadvantage. Now, what I try to do, and what I would counter at is, I try to, the cornerback that's in the far left, that's sticking Fuller, since he's in the cloud flat by default, he should run down. The safety, the strong safety on the far right side, he's in a cover 4. He should come down as well to stop any outside run. So for me, I have to use one of the 2 linebackers, and I have to seal the edge. If you don't seal the edge, this run is pretty much, can you see? The edge is sealed, and that's cover 6. Because the guy that's in the slot, who's over top of Golden, he's automatically blitzing down. The corner over to him to the left is in the cover 2, he has to come down. The strong safety on the backside, it has to come down because, cover 4, they always check the run first.
Yeah.
So he's still on the edge on the right side in case they do try to run it to this other side. See? And cover 6 does such a great job slowing it down. Even if it doesn't stop it 100%, it just gives me enough time to get my guy in position to help steal the edge until somebody can run and stop that. And then people can do the audible down and, you get into a different game. I think he has like the stretch and he has the dive and then the counter, and then, some guys I know you can even bring, the linebackers over, the tight end over and things like that. So yeah, it can get tough at times. It for sure can get tough. So,
especially with the toss too. The toss is in that formation also.
Yeah, I don't think I have it in mind, but yeah, the toss is definitely I know out of this. Yes, he has I know he has the counter, he has the dive and the stretch. That alone, them 3 runs are tough, man. That left, right, middle type of scheme is definitely hard to stop. So that's what to answer those questions. So let's talk about real quick. Madden 19 is coming up. I know we had mentioned it briefly. How do you feel about the new Madden and some of the changes that have been implemented or being implemented in this new Madden? Do you know any of them, or I need to run them down?
I'm kind of liking it. I was watching a video. I believe it was 2 days ago. They were talking about the running animation and how they're trying to implement I can't remember what it's called, but like the motion. I guess.
It's called locomotion. It's called locomotion.
Yeah, the locomotion. Yeah. He was running through the gap and he kind of pushed off the lineman and got a little separation from there. Like it didn't do nothing. It don't help the running back. It is something that does happen. It does occur, but a lot of people they might not be too fond of it because it's gonna slow you down.
Yeah.
And then even there was like the little stutter step where from one angle it looked really nice, and then from a different angle it looked like he just ran through the lineman's legs and some other stuff. But I'm kind of excited for it. They're trying to I guess make it more I want to say realistic, but I don't think it's the right way or the right word to use for this game.
Yeah.
Because in a sense that it's already kind of realistic with the strategy that you have to do. You have to strategize for almost everything, and that's football. Football's a strategic game.
Sure.
You gotta strategize for everybody, for anybody that you play, because everybody's differently. You got guys that run, you got guys that pass, and all that good stuff. But now they're kind of tweaking in these little things where like the animations, like I said, the running game and stuff like that. But
yep, they have things like they are introducing something called strafe burst, where holding L2 on defense can allow you to accelerate and not sprint. Almost like holding it and then letting it go real quick gives you like a quick acceleration. That'll be new, especially on defense. The one cut style of running where guys with that kind of with the trait and things like that have different ability and different elusiveness. For us though, as the CFM, I think one of the biggest changes is going to be the ratings. Not ratings. I'm sorry, the progression system. Have you heard about the new progression system?
I haven't seen too much of it, but I've seen some of the stuff that they're planning on doing. I'm kind of liking what they're bringing back to the CFM.
So so for those who don't know or haven't been able to catch E3 or anything like that, or the EA reveal, there will be no more simple just allotting points to different skill sets. They're having what they call these archetypes.
Yeah, archetypes.
Yeah, archetypes. Yep. So, different players have different, different styles based on scheme. So, for example, they'll have like a slow, normal, quick superstar development. What we're known is to have slow, normal, quick, and superstar. Now be normal, quick, star, and then superstar. Things like clutch can't be purchased, and to me that's going to be tough because I'll always give my players clutch. All of them, from the offensive linemen to running back to tight end, everybody on my team gets clutch because I want them to make big plays and big moments. So now I know that players are now be attached to schemes like offensive schemes and defensive schemes. So that'd be interesting.
I think that's something that's going to be a little difficult for some people to grasp because, not many people get into that kind of detail. Yeah. Like me, my scheme, like I try to fit my scheme the way that I play. Like I run the West Coast. Hold on. No, hold on. I run the West Coast, and I run the attacking 4-3.
Okay.
And my quarterback, I usually want to have a West Coast quarterback, but sometimes I go with a strong arm. My running back, since I'm running the West Coast, I do a one cut. And then my fullback blocking receiver, I like to have a possession receiver, a speed receiver, and like a red zone threat. That way I get like all aspects covered. I got someone like a stretch the field, my go-to guy on third down, and then my red zone threat for the red zone. Tight end, depending on who I have, I see like the reason why I'm mentioning this is because the guy they just brought in for Madden and the CFM, he was with 2K, and
Yeah.
that's something that 2K has is the archetypes. That way you individually strengthen your player to what he's good at. And I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of these people, when it comes to 19, they're gonna have to understand what kind of scheme they're gonna run. That way they can build their scheme to the archetype players that they have. And
Sure.
I mean, hopefully it does progress well, and hopefully it's not going to be too overpowered because I mean, you're going to get some guys that, I mean, this is Madden. There's always going to be one thing that's going to be overpowering another, and just going to have to see who finds it first.
Sure. Yeah, because if a person doesn't understand the difference between a vertical power run scheme and a power run scheme, or how a zone scheme works, they're gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for them to understand, and they say, "Oh, my players are not good," and they're gonna be cutting good players, and the guys are gonna be snatching them. It could be a nightmare. For you, like you said, you run a attacking 4-3. So far, I don't even see that as an option. I see base 4-3, multiple 4-3, a Tampa 2, a 4-6, and a multiple 3-4. Like I'm more of a multiple 3-4 type of guy. But I'm assuming that they're going to probably call attacking 3-4, or multiple 4-3 would be kind of like an attacking 4-3. I know that they're going to bring back one of my favorite formations, the big nickel bear, but I think they're calling it like the big nickel G over or over G or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see the type of new formations that they have, and how all of those new changes, aside from the running, just the progression scheme, how that affects us guys in the CFM. So. And then you as a coach, and it's funny because the Raiders is also a coach. I think he's a high school coach, football coach. So, you guys kind of have an advantage now to guys who've never played. I've played a little football. Saints has played football. So some of us guys have played, some organized football before. So if you don't understand them concepts, you could be at a disadvantage where guys like yourself could be able to dominate.
Yeah.
It definitely.
And I mean, you're right. That is. I mean, that is something that I wish would happen more often, but it doesn't happen that way. I mean, just because we do have some kind of experience and some kind of background when it comes to football, I mean, a lot of people they get upset because you have guys that lab and you have guys that cheat, I guess you could say. Because I mean, there's so much stuff out there on YouTube now that everybody can just get out there and they can watch, and then monkey see, monkey do. You see some stuff out there, other people mimic it, and some people are good at what they do. I mean, I just played a game in another league that I'm in, where the dude brought out some YouTube stuff on me, and that was the last second play of the last play of the game, and he ended up scoring a touchdown off of it. And I even called him out on it in the group chat later on after the game. But I mean, this is Madden. Like I said, there's some things that some people are going to be good at, and there's some things that some people they're not going to be good at. But, I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, YouTube has played a part in that, especially with Madden. It has affected that. One thing that I do like in the USFL is a lot of that doesn't work, man. A lot of that stuff doesn't work, aside from maybe like one or two plays like halfback lamb. That's been always overpowered. Maybe, some of the one or two overpowered plays. Other than that, a lot of them schemes or not schemes, but a lot of those plays, we kind of run through those. We kind of like see them because people see them so much. I know guys like myself, Ty, like I sit in the lab and I'll counter that. I'll practice it, counter, and I'll text Boone or somebody. Listen, man, if you see somebody running this play, just run this, and that should stop it. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of have our like own in-house.
Yeah.
Diffuse the YouTube. So when guys come in, new guys usually come in, we can tell that they're YouTube guys or a lot of head-to-head guys because the stuff that they bring off the internet don't work. They don't work here anyway. Don't work here. So, you might beat one or two guys, but you're not going to dominate the league with that stuff. So, That's one of the good things here in USFL.
I think that's kind of why I've been kind of excelling the way that I had too. I mean, I'm not doing that good, but I'm doing decent, and it's because I mean, like the gameplay that I have. I don't bring that head to head stuff, that YouTube stuff out here. Like some of the stuff that I run, it's just counters. Like it's like we're in a boxing match. You show me something, I'm gonna show you something else, and then whoever counters who first, that's who basically wins. And not many people play like that anymore. Like a lot of people, they try to do that one play touchdown, or they try to overpower what they think that they're good at. Like if you think you have a good running game, then you overrun yourself and you end up getting shut down and put yourself in a hole to where you got to pass and become one dimensional, and just makes things frustrating for some of those people out there who don't know how to stay balanced.
Sure, especially when you come into a league and those plays or those things from YouTube don't work, and you base your whole game around it. It's like, now what are you gonna do? You just find yourself calling halfback screens and verticals and simple plays, but none of that stuff works now. So, you know, the good thing is in this league, and I also see it in other leagues too. I don't really see a lot of people bringing it in, and if they do, it doesn't dominate the league. It just might beat one or two players. So, we've been pretty good on that. You know, CFM. For us, it feels like CFM is in a war with EA in itself, just between MUT and CFM. You know, it feels like a lot of the times the game has now been catered to MUT, and this, you know, and different things have been catered to MUT, but a lot of those plays and things also don't work in CFM because a lot of them guys that you have on MUT, they're like 99, you know, almost like creative players. You don't have them same players in CFM. So a lot of that stuff, again, doesn't work. So, and, you know, one great thing about our league is we have a lot of people who do schemes. We kind of understand that schemes win championships. Everybody who's won a championship in the USFL, they have a scheme. It's not really like a random set of plays. It's like, yo, I can sit and live in these 3 or 4 formations all game until you figure out how to stop them. You know, Tick is really good at that in both leagues. The Giants in the UGFL league, he's really good at that. He stays in that tight slots or juice close damn near all game. You know, Cletus is real good. The Giants in the game of time. He lives in juice close. Like, he will not get out of that. You know, Tick lives in 4 plays. You know, I'll call him the four play king. You know, but it works for him. You know, people say I only got 3 formations. You know, fine. You know, I'll stay in them until you force me to open up my playbook. I'm gonna stay in them. So we're good. So let me ask you, how do you feel about? I don't know if you've been up on tune or up to the latest, but we'll discuss it now. The new depth chart situation and how they're doing the new depth chart substitutions and things like that.
I haven't seen too much of that. What do they do? How are they changing it?
So say, for example, we used to have packages as far as like you know, packages. So they're kind of changing them up. Yeah, they're kind of changing them up like a rush. You know, like when it comes down, you know, like say for example in the NFL, you have guys who only play third down and third and longs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all they do is attack the pass and things like that. They're kind of bringing that style of packaging and substitution to this new man, where they have slot cornerbacks and substitute linebackers, or power halfback, or a slot wide receiver. Just guys who, you know, in the depth chart, you just put them in that, and they only play that position in them type of formations, you know, or them type of situations. So it'll be interesting.
I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of issues with that. Me, again, this is kind of where my experience comes into play. Is I mean, I was a defensive coach, a defensive coordinator, and that's kind of where I specialized in, is having my third down pass rushers, and they were specifically for third downs, and like third and deep mainly.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to know. You're gonna have to get a feel for the team that you have, because I mean, you are gonna have those slot players who can only play slot, those third down backs, those your defensive ends or your linebackers to rush the passer. You got to know who you have and who to put in at the right times and stuff like that. But for me, I'm kind of liking it because it brings a new aspect to the game, because that's something that they do in the NFL. Like, they've done it a lot more as of late than they did back in the day. Back in the day, it was just brute force. Like, you just go out there and you just bang. But now they kind of, like, for football now, it's a lot more strategic than what it used to be. Like, now they take in like so many aspects of the game that they kind of overthink things. They don't play like they used to. They don't just go out there and score. Like, now you just got to go out there and get a few yards. and it's cool, but at the same time, like it's frustrating for those people who pride themselves in offense or defense, because like I said, they everything goes into effect now.
Yeah.
And Madden's gonna be the same way. Like Madden, they're kind of making you overthink things. Like I already overthink things in Madden already when it comes to like the run block, the pass block, the impact block, and stuff like that. Like I still haven't figured out more or less what means more in certain plays. Like I know the counters and the whams and the toss, like the impact blocking means a lot to the guards or to the ones that are pulling, but the run blocking, I mean that's your core. Like if you're a power run team or whatever, you got to have high run blocking.
Yeah.
But
So
if you run into the outside, into like the zones and to like the stretches and to the guards that are pulling, uh, you don't need your run blocking much. You would need more impact block and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So for this man, to answer that too, those are really good points. Because a lot of people do struggle with how to beef up their offensive line. For me, or from what I noticed, is kind of two approaches. What I would suggest is model your offensive line to one of the best offensive lines in the game. For example, I would personally model, if I'm more of a run first guy, I would kind of model my offensive line to Dallas's. You know, do they have bigger? You know, what size are their offensive lines? Their guards. You know, what's their run blocking? What's their pass blocking? You know, and there's also some Madden mechanics in there. And what I mean by that is, this year in this Madden, the center is the most important lineman on the offensive line, and his strongest rating is awareness. If you get his awareness up, not only does his overall go up, which really doesn't mean much, but the offensive line gets a boost because the center's awareness is up that high, especially if it's over 90. Like you get they get a secret like boost in blocking if you get the center's awareness up over 90. So just little tidbits and things like that. You would have to do some research on. And it's funny that you mentioned that because even in the new Madden 19, they're gonna have a new rating system where quarterbacks get 3 new ratings, like throw under pressure, break sack rating, and a break tackle rating. Receivers are going to get something like 3 extra ones, like short route running, medium route running, deep route running. And then offensive linemen get run block power, run block finesse, pass block power, pass block finesse, and lead block. So all of these different things and these different dynamics are really going to test people's football IQ. For me, I like it because, like you said, you just can't go out there and just brute force. You just can't have everybody just running people over, pancaking people, and things like that. You really have to now strategically put pieces in place. It's like a chess match. It's like a really now it's becoming a chess match. What football is. It's really getting away from the arcade style finally. At least for us, it seems like in the CFM. And again, EA can screw it all up. We got 2 months of anything can happen in 2 months. The new guy can just come in and blow the whole damn thing up. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But for me, as a person who loves football, I like the direction that Madden 19 is going. Hopefully, they really do some great things for us in the CFM, and kind of give us the same love that they've been giving Mutt over the last 2 or 3 Maddens. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree, but a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I had an issue with the awareness because, I mean, yeah, you could put some XP towards the awareness of the linemen and stuff, but I don't see their awareness taking much of like taking place on the line, because I mean, whether you have high awareness or not, they're still gonna do their job. Like especially for the line, like it's crazy for the line because I mean, their awareness isn't gonna help them hold the block longer, or it's not gonna help them pancake somebody. It's gonna come down to their core skill set, which is gonna be either their run block or their impact blocking. But then again, like I said, it could just be me overthinking things, because from what I've seen, because I'm in quite a bit of leagues, and my base is all kind of the same, but it's all different. Like it's all different. I have different stats for the teams that I have the same offense, the same scheme, but some I'm able to pass more, and some I'm able to run more. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and that's definitely gonna be interesting to see again how that goes, man. I like I said, I like the way it's going. I know that there is some times where you can get pancaked on the run, and I think a lot of that's due to the box, the whole box system that they have of guys, you know, this side of the box versus that guy's side of the box. You know, a lot of those things, you know, those little sneaky things that Madden, EA tries to put in. A lot of guys don't really pay that on mind. It kind of gives guys who kind of do that research a little advantage. And by the time people try to catch up, it's a little late, unfortunately. Shout out to Cletus, man, in the chat. Like, who is he? You know, for those who don't know Cletus, I guess you missed the intro. Cardinals. Don Joe Fernandez. You know what I'm saying? Is his direct DM name. Shout out to Mo too for beating Green Bay with an amazing run. I'm going to try to pull that up here. We've been talking about the offensive line and some of those things. I do want to talk about that real quick while I still got Joe on here. Joe, you got time to break down one play real quick? I know you got to go soon.
Yeah.
Give me a second here. Let me load up something here. It's my good buddy who's also in your division here. And sent us over a play that I kind of want to break down. I want to know your thoughts on it. Let it load up here, and then I'll switch the screen over. There we go. It's him actually doing a great defensive play. I want to know what you kind of see in this play, and let's kind of break it down real quick. Because Boone has become one of the top elite guys in the USFL. He has great user skills. I remember when he couldn't really stop anything, and we had a conversation, and now he's like really dominating and doing the thing. So this is him against the Ravens. Relish X, you know him as an admin in the other league. You hear he's the Ravens. Here's a play. Looks like doubles north. It looks like Ravens is running the West Coast book, single back doubles north. Seattle's in a simple 3-4. Looks like an odd or over. And just let me know what you see here. So let's just break down this play as far as let's just break down this play. And I want to start kind of from here. From here. So what do you see here? Who was your first initial read? Take us through your mindset on this play, because you see where Boone is and what he's using, and you see that what we like to call baiting. He's doing. So give me your thoughts.
Yeah, that's something that Boone is kind of pretty good at doing. He'll bait you into throwing something that looks like it's open, but it's not going to be open. A lot of people they see the middle open, even though it's not really open, like you said, like the bait.
Yeah. See the bait? You see it? Did you see it? Like it's like it's interesting because initially when you first hike the ball, that is he's open. But guys like him, myself, Cletus, there's a couple guys we do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we make that the first read. Anyway, you know, we make that the first read. So
yeah,
a great job to Boone for understanding that concept and getting that down. Always looking for the first look, and unfortunately, Rel didn't make the right read. Now, in Rel's defense, he also, if we get a chance to look, he also gets hit. He also has a pressure coming in. So, you know, Boone sends the blitz, who forces the quick throw, and in that situation, who do you throw to in that situation, Joe?
I would try to I try to stay patient. That's what I do. I never go for the first read.
So on this play, do you take that?
From what I see, just to get the first down, I'd probably dish it off to the running back.
Right, and that's where I go to. The blitz is coming in. The blitz is coming in, and the flat, you just throw it to the check down. Hopefully, he can make the 2 yards.
In that instance, you're not trying to score. I mean, you'd have to go for the first down.
Yeah, I agree. We also have another play here. Let me just load this one up. We also have another play here, and not to be picking on Rel, but here's a another play that they're in their game. Now, Well, let's run the play first. Let's see what happens. And then there's another bait, right, that we kind of talked about. So you see he's in the coverage 4. Now, who is, in your opinion, who is open? Where do you go?
The out route.
The out route. The out route. Unfortunately, Rel wanted the big play because I know he's down. But unfortunately, you have to take what the person gives you. And again, I know we talked about it earlier about me and the out routes, but here's a perfect situation where the out route is open. I mean, the guy's standing there on an island by himself and nobody's covering him, and he kind of wanted to post. And you can't really throw that. That's a tough throw because that Boone's user skills. That's a tough throw. Even for myself, that's a tough throw unless you want to do a high bullet pass. And that's a 50-50 chance based on your quarterback because that can go over his head and right to the free safety. So
yeah, exactly. You have to have like a possession or a red zone threat receiver to get that if you're gonna go high.
Yeah, I agree. And Boone again does a fantastic job. I think there's also, he could have threw it to the check down, not even a running back, just the drag route is open. I mean, he just had 3 options. I know he wanted the bigger play. Sometimes, and a lot of times, you just have to take what great guys give you in that moment. So
yeah, it's rough. A lot of people they don't stay patient. They don't stay disciplined, especially when they get down. They get down and they start getting a little antsy. They want to go for the big plays and they want to get chunks of yards in 3 or 4 plays. But I mean, you just gotta stick with it. You gotta grind.
Yeah. Here's a play here where I wanted to. Here we go. Is this the play? Yeah. So, can you see this?
Yeah.
I think this is the play here that wins Mo the game against Green Bay here. And this is where we talked about the offensive line and awareness and things like that. This run, I think, to me, is like kind of like the play of the year. I mean, this run right here is phenomenal. What do you do when this is the Madden thing you were talking about? When plays don't go your way, that's it right there. That's exactly what you spoke about earlier in regards to that's exactly what you spoke about. How the momentum has changed in that second. Yeah. Mo had the momentum. He broke one of the best runs I've seen in Madden 18. The guy was Barry Sanders. He was vintage. He was vintage Barry Sanders.
I guess in a situation like that, the thing it's gonna have to go down to what quarter it is, what the score is, because I mean, like you're saying, like if you said Ty was one of the calling timeouts to try to stop the momentum.
I call timeouts. Yeah, you should call timeouts.
I mean, like I said again, like depending on what quarter it is and how much you're down by, and something like that. When something like that happens, I mean, you gotta do whatever you can to try to swing momentum back in your favor. But I mean, a lot of people, like I said, they see those kind of animations, something like that, and they kind of just give up. They kind of just throw in the towel and just either start going deep or just try. They get out of their game plan. They don't stick with it.
Yeah, that run's for sure deflating right there. That run right there will that'll make you want to quit a Madden right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Talking about rage quit, but I mean this ain't much.
Yeah, that is definitely deflating. Let me see. One last thing here while I got you on. Let's see if it's possible. Yes, it is. I want to jump to the picks for next week and give me your picks for next week. Can you see those picks right there? You see the game?
Okay, yeah, I see them.
Let's discuss some of these games and give me your who you picking. We got the Bengals and the Browns.
USFL, right?
This is USFL.
Oh, it's USFL?
Yeah. So I know the Browns. It's kind of tough because the Browns are on auto. So I think the Bengals will automatically get the win. So let's start with the Bills and the Jets. I mean, Joe.
You gotta go with the Jets. You can't go against the Jets. I mean, they do something else.
Sure. What about yourself against the 49ers?
I haven't beaten Tick, so I gotta go with myself to get this one.
Well, hopefully, the tips that we talked about earlier in this episode, and I will make the episode public. You can go back and see kind of what I did with the cover 6, and I would also look into a cover 4 and a cover 2. You know, shift your defense line, shift your linebackers, spread them. You know, whatever you need to do. Adjust, just move guys out of the blocking lanes to confuse that offensive line. I would suggest to do that. I mean, you said, yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. You said you haven't, I mean, I'm going to go with the 49ers because you said you haven't beat the man. But I have faith in you that you can, but.
They've been close. Our games have been close. I think just separated by a few, maybe a turnover every now and then. Okay. That's what killed me in the game that I played against them.
Okay. I know that, I don't know if the Chargers are around, but I think I'm going to go with the Raiders. I would go with the Raiders and Chargers. I don't see the Chargers pulling off some miracle.
Who is the Raiders?
Raiders is Bohr. Aaron Bohr, one of the Bohr brothers. Okay. So him and the Chiefs are actually brothers and they're in the same division.
Okay.
And I think the Chiefs might be on auto, so Doc should get that win against the computer. We have the Cowboys.
Did they bring some of the guys in from UGT to USFL?
Yeah, we have some, but the pretty much USFL is full at the moment. Just a couple guys are on auto, you know, due for the summertime and things like that. But a lot of guys are still active. So we have Mo and Moondog, who's the Cowboys. Mo is 500. Congratulations, Mo, for finally getting back to at least 500 here in the USFL.
I got to go to Mo.
Yeah, and he beat you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about how did they? Oh, he said it through the pick six, and yeah, we kind of went over that. Yep.
Yeah, the animation started killing me at the end.
Yep. Let's talk about the Eagles and Dolphins. Nobody cares. They're both 3-10. I mean, they both need to get it together. If they're even around, they might both be on auto themselves. But the Giants and the Vikings. That's T Black from the UGTFL versus Ty. Who do you got?
I gotta go with Ty because Black beat me.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm gonna go with Ty. I think T Black has skills, but I think Ty is the better user overall and a smarter player.
Yeah, Ty's good.
Yeah, he's okay. No, I'm teasing, Ty. I'm teasing. I'm gonna be nice, man. You my homie. I'm just teasing. I'm going with him for sure. You know, every episode he says always take a shot at it. We're 28 episodes in. I'm not gonna break that streak now. I'm gonna continue taking my shots. So shout out to Ty. I know you probably tuned in. We got the Colts and the Jags. Colts would for sure get. I think Jags is on auto. We have the Panthers and Green Bay. Who do you have?
I have to go with Green Bay. Dude's out there pretty good. He's playing pretty good.
Okay. It hates me to pick them, but I'm a for sure go with the Packers. It hates me to, you know, that guy. But I'm gonna go for sure pick him. He's very consistent. He will make the playoffs a lot of the times, if not all of the time. He just, you know, chokes in the end, unfortunately. He's a very good, solid player. So shout out to the Packers. I'm for sure going with him. We got the Rams and the Seahawks. I know that you think I know you're gonna go with Boone, but the Rams sometimes give Boone a little trouble. Maybe I'll shoot the Rams a text and see if I can channel him to muster him up a win in this one, man. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think I'm gonna go with them for the upset.
Okay.
For next week. We got the Redskins and the Patriots. Who you had?
I might have to go with the Redskins.
Yeah, Redskins look very solid, man. No, and that's no disrespect to Strong. I know you really improved this season, but the Redskins look very, very solid. I don't know if it's the team that he has or what, but he for sure looks solid.
Yeah, they're kind of flying under the radar. I haven't really heard too much about them, but I know they're out there. They got a good record.
Yeah. Then we have Saints and the Bears. I think the Saints are on auto, so the Bears should get the win. We have Steelers and the Ravens. Both owners are active. I like to call the Steelers organized chaos. What I mean by that, he goes into the game with a plan. When it gets a little tight and thick, he gets a little chaotic, and he just gets off of that game plan, and he just gets a little wild and crazy, and he ends up losing sometimes. Or he ends up winning. It's 50-50. He has that Brett Favre style mentality. So I'm going to go with him, even though, you know, I think Ravens does pose a good threat. Who do you have?
I might have to go with the Ravens.
Okay. I think hopefully that relish, since we've seen this episode, you kind of can go back and watch it and make the better reads. You know, and that's really, Joe, if you'll notice, a lot of the games being played in this league and in both leagues, it's just really who can make the better reads. That's really what the boils down to. If you can make the right reads, You can win any game. Everybody's the same.
Yeah,
Everybody's on the
exactly.
same level playing field if you make the right read. We have the Texans and the Bucks. The Bucks are somehow 8-5. I don't know if he's playing his games or not, but that's the best he's been since year one. I'm going with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks too. He's out there. He's been playing.
Yeah. Oh, he's been playing his games.
Yeah, he's been playing.
Okay, well, I'm glad to see him back because he was MIA. You know, I think Cletus was going to make him a milk carton image for me because I was going to put it up. You know, he was missing things of that nature. So, but I'm glad to see he's winning. He's doing his thing. He's fighting for the division along with myself. And we actually have myself versus the Titans. Who do you have?
We gotta go with the Titans. No, I'm just kidding.
Nothing wrong with that. Not, I'm not the favorite all the time.
I don't even. Who is the Titans?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know who the Titans are.
What's his record?
He's 8-5.
8-5, really? Dang, that's crazy. They ain't making too much noise either. You can kind of tell who makes a lot of noise and who doesn't. And that's kind of the ones that make some of the noise are the ones that are up there, depending on what league it is and stuff like that.
Okay.
But sometimes you get the ones like some elite players that don't say much.
Yeah.
But
okay. And then one last thing. Again, this is the very last thing. I know I keep saying, but I'll let you get out of here. But Boone wanted me to show you. This is a special request. Boone wanted me to show you this one. And let's break this one down. This one should be interesting here. Give me a second. I'm going to let that thing load up. Okay. Boone is a hilarious guy, man. This is why he's my guy. So we're going to break this play down. And it's funny that we're actually going to break this one down because the guest in this one actually is yourself there, Joe.
Okay. I had a feeling.
Someone told me to check the chat, and that's what I did. And this is why, the owner's box, man. This is why I created the show, man, to get the insight from the owners directly. Looks like to myself, it looks like you're in some type of tight slots, or the not tight slots. The other one is kind of like deuce close, almost like an ace patriot. Again, Boone is in a 3-4. Shout out to Boone, man, running that 3-4. I'm so proud, man. I feel like a Madden dad, man. You really been impressing me, bro. Like you really been like watching and breaking down shit. So I'm really impressed by that. Let's go through it. We got a play action. Oh, the bait. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, so who's open? Where do you go?
I should have went to the flats. That's where I should have went.
Yeah,
but I have a tendency to think my quarterback can make every throw.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went over the middle. I believe I even threw a high too. I don't remember though.
Yeah, not open. Not open. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's very tough. Even again, because even if you don't go there in the middle, the initial guy who Boone was chasing, when he peels off, he's even open there.
Yeah.
He's even open to where you can get the first down. Again, we talked about it, man. Take what the defense gives you. He is open. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. He's open. Even here, he's open. But you'd make that throw now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Before he's even had the idea to peel off.
Before he even breaks on the ball, you throw that and you got to go get it. I don't know if you're good at user catching. I love the user catch on offense. So you got to go get that ball. You got to throw that early and go get it. That's the only way you counter that user like that. So.
Yeah, we all make mistakes. That's what we're here for.
It's a lesson learned. I'm breaking them down here on the owner's box. I've thrown a ton of interceptions. You know what I'm saying? I got a game coming up again. So not this week because the Saints is ducking me. Shout out to Kurt. You're ducking me. He's on auto. He won't come off auto to play me this week neither. So he's ducking me. So the next week, if I throw an interception, I'll feature myself on here and break down 1 or 2 plays of myself. Shout out to Mo for definitely submit his play. In my opinion, I think that's play of the year. That was vintage Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I was nice.
You know, definitely. Well, I appreciate you being a guest here, rocking out with me for this whole hour and 10
No
almost.
problem. Appreciate it being here.
You're definitely welcome anytime I do another show. Usually I usually do the one during the week by myself, and then the one on Saturday with Ty. So I'm gonna try to get with him this weekend. Maybe bring you back on. I know he has a ton of questions. It's a very interactive format when he's also involved. And then we kind of like we just like pre-fall and let different owners come in and address different things. Yeah. So definitely,
let me know. I'm always open.
Cool, man. I appreciate you. Definitely in the league. You've been, like I said, you've been a solid guy, stand-up guy. You've been eager to learn. So you know, I'm around. Don't be afraid to hit any other owners up, tips and tricks and things like that. If you got any questions, nobody want to give you the answers, hit me up, man. We just break them down here in the owner's box and figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, sounds good.
You know, shout out to all the owners here in the league, man. I'm looking forward to Madden 19. You know, all the new updates and the roster updates and seeing who, you know, who does better and who doesn't. Who's going to get it together, listen, things like that. So appreciate you for joining. Any last final comments before we get up out of here?
No, that's it, brother. Have a good one.
Definitely, man. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to the other owners in the second league, the Gamers Time League, for also tuning in. This was the first time we did a crossover episode here on the Owner's Box. Even though the show is exclusively for the USFL, I did this just to see my style of format of show. Hopefully they like it and embrace it. I've been trying to get Mo's show up to par, but he feels like his format is good. You know, I'm ESPN, he's Fox Sports. Thank you for tuning in to our version of ESPN. Again, Joe, man, appreciate you for joining in Owner's Box. Definitely try to tune in again next Saturday. Shout out to little Joe in the background. You want to flash? We're kid-friendly show. You can show your son. I had my little ones up on the show before. My girl's been on the show.
He's been out the door. He's already out there.
Okay, he got his Hawk shirt on. I got my Hawk shirt on. We're doing the Marvel thing today. So shout out to little Joe, man. Again, man, appreciate you for joining in. This is Marc Gates in the Owner's Box, USFL League, man. We're signing off. No, there he is.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. You too, man. Definitely. Thank you for tuning in. Marc Gates.
Not a problem.
Yeah, we out of here.
Right.